Religion and alcohol have always had a complicated relationship. In many traditions, consuming alcohol is seen as sinful, or at least something to be avoided in excess to keep oneself pure. In others, it's celebrated as a part of ritual. Shinto falls into this latter category, and alcohol, specifically Japanese sake, is offered to the gods and used in a variety of ceremonies. Folktales even characterize the Shinto kami as enjoying sake, and for this reason, it is referred to as the drink of the gods. Sake, or Nihonshu in Japanese, is an alcohol that has been considered Shinto's holy beverage for thousands of years. Sake is made from fermented rice, an idea that was likely imported from China in ancient times. Records of sake production in Japan date back as far as the 5th century BCE. The relationship between sake and Shinto goes so far back that sake even plays an important role in one of Shinto's creation myths, the myth of the Yamata no Orochi. In this story, the god Susanoo is tasked with slaying a monstrous 8-headed dragon in order to save a princess. He asks the girl's parents to brew some strong sake and gives each of the dragon's 8 heads a vat full of it. The dragon takes the bait, gets drunk, and falls asleep. Susanoo is able to kill the dragon in this way and save the princess. But how is sake actually used in Shinto today? Most notably, sake is an important component in the offerings of food and drink to the kami. These offerings are called shinsen, and the ceremonial sake is called omiki. Shrines often have their own set of rituals around how these items are offered, which can be extensive and elaborate. For example, this is the Iwashimizu Hachimangu Shrine in Kyoto. The shinsen rituals here include 11 courses of small plates, and omiki is among the first in a long list of things offered to the kami. In many cases, those who offer sake to the kami are also invited to take a sip themselves. There are several other ceremonial uses for sake, and here are a few of them. Kagami biraki is a ceremonial breaking open of a cask of sake's wooden lid. This is said to bring good luck and is performed at events, sometimes for companies. Toso is a medicinal sake that is drank at New Year's. Each family member, even younger members, take a sip to rid the last year's ills. Sake may be poured on the ground during a ritual done before the construction of a new building. Shinto shrines themselves are credited with advancing and refining the technology of making sake in the 12th to 14th century. Shrines back in these days sold sake, and while this was still meant for ceremonial purposes, this led the way for sake to become a commercial product. These days, few if any shrines still make their own sake, but often maintain close relationships with local breweries. Looking outside a given shrine, you'll often see barrels of sake that have been donated by brewers. Brewers will come pray for a good season and maintain altars within their own businesses. In addition, some shrines will still supply water from sacred wells for these breweries, and in turn use the sake to facilitate rituals and ceremonies. Shinto's connection to sake is an aspect that firmly roots it as Japan's own religious tradition. So what can these practices tell us about Japanese culture as a whole? Thomas P. Kasulias' book, Shinto: The Way Home, discusses how drinking alcohol in general is an opportunity for relief from strict societal norms, as it emboldens people to express themselves in ways they otherwise wouldn't. As he puts it, communal drinking may dissolve the social walls between people, allowing them to discover their more intimate overlaps. Sake's prominence in Shinto ritual cannot be fully understood without taking this function into account. Shinto deeply values connecting with the world around you, and if people can commune with each other by way of sake, then why not with the kami?